Hey guys, Emily here from Stay Healthy, Stay Happy. I'm a yoga and boxing instructor here in Boston, and today we're going to go over some stretches for your hips. Summertime means a lot of bike riding, a lot of running, a lot of walking, just a lot of being outside and using our hips for these lateral motions. So it's really important first before you go to warm up with some dynamic stretching like walking lunges or just hip circles, some high knees. But then after your workout, it's also important to just stretch out those muscles and the areas around your hip joints so that you feel really good the next day. So we're going to go through a couple different poses that you can do for your hips. The first one that I'm sure many of you are familiar with is your runner's lunge. So coming into the runner's lunge, your knee over your ankle, that right foot forward, your back heel lifted. Come on the ball of that foot so it looks like the bottom of your foot is pressing against a wall behind you. Already you'll feel this stretch and the strengthening happening in your hip, your glute, and that quad muscle. Zip that knee up and just sink into the stretch. Your spine long, your neck nice and long. Gaze is slightly forward. From your runner's lunge, drop that back knee. Untuck the toes, and you'll bring both hands inside the right foot. So plant that right hand in, and then heel toe the right foot out to the right slightly, and then turn the right toes out to face. 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, on a clock face. This is your lizard lunge, your modified lizard. You can also do this with your back knee lifted to help strengthen that back hip a little bit more. This might be your stopping point, or maybe you roll onto the edge of that right foot. Make sure the whole side of the foot from your pinky toe to your heel is planted on the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine, just look forward. Feel that length. Exhale, release all the stress that is built up in your hips. Maybe you didn't go for a run, maybe you didn't go for a bike ride today, maybe you just sat at your desk or were standing all day, and that takes a lot on your joints as well. You can of course come lower. A lot of you might want to come onto your forearms here as you continue to breathe and ease into this pose. After about 10 or so breaths, you can start to ease yourself out, coming back into that runner's lunge. And you can transition through your downward facing dog or your high plank. Step that left foot forward. Same thing, just starting in the runner's lunge, noticing how you feel after doing the other side. Flexing that back knee, pressing through the bottom of that back foot. Knee over that ankle. Breathing here, long spine, eyes forward just for a bit. And then the knee comes down. The toes untuck. Left hand inside the left foot. Heel toe. And then turn those left toes out to about 11, 10 o'clock on that clock face. The roll happens from pinky edge all the way to heel. Letting that knee fall out. And maybe that doesn't feel good. You can keep the foot flat. And again, 10 or so breaths here. On fingertips, on blocks. Hands can be flat, or again, you can make your way onto one forearm, 2 forearms. Whatever you do, try not to clench your face. A tendency here is to start clenching the teeth, squinting, wrinkles in the forehead. Just try to relax. Bring that foot back to center. Hands come on either side of that front foot. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. And for this next move, we're going to step forward into a forward fold. Just shake those legs out. And then sink into your Yogi Squat, your Malasana. I'll turn to you. Your feet come out, so your heels are mat's width. Toes turn out. And you sit right into those hips. Hands at your heart center. You might want a pillow or a block to sit on to make this a little bit more relaxing. If you have pretty open hips to begin with, this might feel really good already. And then you can stay here and just breathe 10 or so breaths, maybe longer, a whole minute. Or reach those arms forward, drop your chin. Spines are long. Unless you're starting to fold forward, you're lengthening through the spine, and then when you reach that point, you can't bend forward anymore or reach forward anymore. Your chin drops. To come out of this, hands back to your heart. You can either just sit on your butt or hands down first. Again, shake those legs out. Our next pose, we're making our way down onto our butts. Coming into your butterfly pose, feet together, knees out, ankles on the ground, spine really tall here. So those sit bones down, long through your low back, tall through your upper back. Shoulders pulled back and down. Chest over those hips. Careful not to press out, draw back. If you don't feel anything here, you can move the feet closer. Maybe that will be enough. Or you start to fold forward, leading with that heart. Coming down. Hands around your feet, or hands reach forward like in that Malasana pose. Only about 10 breaths here. And then you'll start to ease out of this posture. And we're going to do the same one on our back. Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined, foot-bound pose. All the way down. Your hands can come to your hips if they're really feeling it. Just bring that extra sense of security there. The warmth of your hands helps just relax that area of your body. If you find that your mind is racing, maybe hand on belly, hand on heart, and just connect with those two spaces, feeling your breath rise and fall. Or if you feel pretty relaxed here, again, his arms can go by your sides. There's so many options here. You can close your eyes, breathing here for about 10 breaths. That's your guide. Just start with 10 breaths, and then if you still feel really good or that you want to stay in the pose longer, just stay longer. You don't have to count your breaths. From here, the knees will come together, and then into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, really pressing those thighs against your belly. You can even curl up into a ball. The final hip stretch here, a good one, when we always end our yoga practice with, is happy baby pose. Be really gentle here, because after getting into those hips a little bit, it might feel tight at first. I want your low back planted on the ground, so your back is all the way down to your tailbone. Tendency here is to lift that tailbone up. We don't want that. We want it planted. If your hips are tight from a workout or that desk job, you can grab onto the backs of your thighs on your hamstrings. Otherwise, insides of feet, big toes, just start that rock side to side. Massaging out that low back. Maybe straightening and bending those knees. It's about 10 breaths here. Closing your eyes. Relaxing the best you can. And then you'll finish again with those knees into your chest. And if you feel like resting, restoring a little bit more, great next pose from here is Viparita Karani. Legs straight up. Maybe you come against a wall, put your legs up a wall, great restorative pose. Otherwise, you can just lay here. And then from here, make your way into Shavasana, or you can just go about the rest of your day, what you have left. But just make sure you take time to stretch, especially after all of those running, biking, sitting activities. Knees come to chest. And then again, make your way to where you're going. And that's it. 5 different hip stretches, runner's lunge, lizard lunge, your butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, happy baby, and some kind of relaxation at the end.